Hi there, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge Bellis 6-arm round chandelier. This is going to be the 131008. It's also an oval version of the same chandelier. That one is going to be 48 by 22. If you're not sure which one is right for your application, send us details. Email photographs, email the measurements of the table you're going to be working with, dining room table, kitchen island, all kinds of places. I'm going to see this going into stairways, over beds, all kinds of interesting applications, like I said, but we can help guide you through all of that. I think this size, this 32-inch round, is appropriate for a dining table or a kitchen island. That's somewhere between 60 and up to 84 inches left to right, the length of it. And then the next size up, that oval, which is 48 inches in actually 48 by 22, that's going to be better for something like an 84 to a 96 to 102, someplace in there. It's also a beautiful wall sconce that's coming with this, that's available with this, 24073. Check that out too, because it's a dynamite fixture on its own. Let's get into details on this. So the height of the fixture is 22.1 inches, and that's independent of what it's hanging from. Diameter 32.5. This is 44.8 pounds, so it's really important that you talk to your installer to make sure they are putting it onto the correct junction box on your ceiling. It is slope ceiling adaptable already, so if you guys have a slope ceiling, there's going to be a knuckle at the top of these pipes, allowing it to bend in one direction up to 45 degrees, so you're good to go there. Now, canopy up on the ceiling, 6.5 inches in diameter. Going to cover up this very easy. This is a 4-inch junction box, but like I said before, make sure your installer knows about the 44.8 pounds hanging weight, okay? And now I want to show you more information about all of this stuff, and how we're going to do it is to look at the installations instructions now. So if you're on the page for this, on Handmade in Vermont, look over on that side of the screen. Midway down, you're going to see a link. It's going to say, click here for installations instructions PDF, so open it up for me. It's going to show you a full parts list, which is going to show you things like this. These are the pipes it hangs from. It's going to show you your beautiful handmade glass, which screws into the fixtures itself. And it's going to show you lots of other details using those line drawings. So always take advantage of those if you can. Now, you're also going to see that there's a chart. There's a chart on that page, as well as on the page for this on Handmade in Vermont. And that chart is going to show you the overall heights, and they're going to start off at 24.8 and they're going to end up at 69.8, and how you're going to see on that chart all of these set overall heights listed there, and then the combination of rods that you're going to use to get to that place. This is going to ship with 15 feet of wire. If you need to go beyond the 69.8 and you need to go way beyond that, we can sell you additional kits. So the kits that you're going to come with this, the one kit's going to come with this is kind of a special kit, like a master kit. That one's going to have 3 of the 12 pipes, 1 of the 6, and 1 of the 3. Additional kits, they come 1 12-inch, 1 6-inch, 1 3-inch. So just remember that if you need to order additional pipes, that's how we do it. Very, very simple. Okay, so how we put this together, you're going to notice what I would probably do is not put the glass on until the very end. I would put a blanket down either on the floor, or I would put it on a table. I would figure out from that chart which combos of rods I need, and then I would kind of lay them out. And what you're going to do is just basically feed that wire through a connector, and that's what this is, through a pipe, which is what this is, and you see on the side it's threaded here, and it's threaded on both ends basically. And you're just going to screw it together. So you put it together like this, and you kind of build your way up to that canopy, and your wire is going to go out the canopy, screwing everything together like I said, and it's going to be super tight, beautifully engineered and beautifully milled, so it looks like it's all one piece. Really nice there. And then once you have it up, that's when you put your glass on. Make sure you put your bulbs in first, which leads us to bulbs. And before we do that, we'll kind of mention the glass is 4 inches in diameter and 6.2 inches high, which kind of lends itself to being able to accommodate big bulbs. But this is going to be using a G9 socket, and G9 sockets are very small sockets hiding up in that metal part. And you can use all kinds of wires, all kinds of bulbs on this. So, and don't forget, you have 12 lights on this. So you don't have to go too crazy as far as getting a lot of light, thinking you're not going to get a lot of light out of it. You're going to get a ton of light out of this fixture. So half of those go up, half of those go down. You're going to get task lighting like this, which is really nice. The light that's going to go up is going to hit your white ceiling and bounce around the room. That's ambient light. So that's a nice way to light the entire room just from one fixture. And that leads us to the type of bulbs on this. So Hubbardton Forge kind of recommends a couple things here. You actually have a lot of things you can do. And one of them is going to be called a T-bulb. And so this is going to be like a 5-watt max. And a 5-watt max is going to be the equivalent, depending on your manufacturer, from a 40-watt equivalent to a 60-watt equivalent bulb. And again, you'll be able to see it once you kind of go in and look online or go into a store and see that. So you have a couple things, like I said, you can do. You can do that T-bulb, which is kind of like the shape of a, well, it's just a tubular bulb really, and it looks like a corn cob. So there's that one. But then the one that Hubbardton Forge kind of recommends as a design preference, that one is the one they use in all the light coming out of the fixtures that you see in the photographs. It's using what's called an MR11. So do you remember when we were kids and we had little flashlights, and the flashlights had a little cone with a reflective thing inside that shoots light in one direction? That is a reflector bulb, and that's what MR11s are. They're little reflector bulbs that you can get all the way really small, just like that, and they just push right into the G9 socket. So those are going to like just shoot beams of light coming out of this, going up and going down again. I think that's probably one of the better ways to go. Again, it's going to be a 5-watt version of that, anywhere from a 40-watt equivalent to a 60-watt equivalent. I wouldn't worry about it that much. You can find those bulbs all over the place, but I think I would probably go online, probably to like 1001 Bulbs, Emery Allen. You can go there. You could go to bulbs.com. We buy a lot of our bulbs on Amazon. It's just so easy, and then you can scout around. They're going to offer these bulbs to you in different ways, like we talk about in all these videos. 2700 Kelvin, super yellow, kind of appropriate for a dining room table, I think, in a romantic setting, maybe. Way on the other side of that, they're going to offer these two in daylight. Be careful of that one. Now it's a bluish white light, not my favorite. That's going to be 4,000, 5,000 Kelvin on that Kelvin scale. What we like to use in our showroom is warm white, soft white. That mimics the light of an incandescent bulb we grew up with. That's 3,000 Kelvin. That's what's used on this table. That's why it looks so nice from these 3,000 Kelvin LEDs above. So that's what I would probably jump into. In any event, make sure what you're doing is you're looking for a dimmable version of that bulb. Let's get into metal finishes now. If you are on the HandmadeInVermont.com website, look over in the red tabs with the pictures in them over there. You're going to see a Finishes Help Guide tab. Open that up for me. It's going to be a video there of me talking to you guys about the differences in Hubbardton Forge finishes, how they can look on different types of forging. I'm going to be referencing a chart just down below, so scroll down a little bit. You're going to see a chart. You can click on that chart, so you can click on dark smoke, you can click on soft gold, doesn't matter. Big page will pop up showing you lots of different things in that finish. You can go back to the chart and you'll notice there's letters A's on them, letter B's on some of those things, and that's going to be showing you this range of variants that you can expect to see on different translucent finishes, but I'll talk about all of that in the video, okay? Okay, showroom. Our showroom in Vermont has over 400 Hubbardton Forge fixtures. This is the biggest showroom in the world of Hubbardton Forge. No other showroom is like this. Hubbardton Forge doesn't even have their own showroom. They use this one. What's on display? We have a great tab on that. And those same red tabs, you're going to see a What's on Display page. So open that up. It's going to show you everything we have on display, and including which finish, which shade, all of those things, and what kind of glass it's on there. We're open every day except Sunday, 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We also have an amazing clearance center. Clearance center stuff is 75% off MSRP. It's returns, discontinued stuff, showroom samples. You have to come here to use it. Can't call us or email us about it, but it's definitely worth coming in to look at if you're in Vermont. Plus you want to use the showroom anyway because there's just so much great stuff here to see. Our number in Vermont, 802-446-2400. You can email us 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Love to answer emails, and it's sales@HandmadeInVermont.com. So when you order from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is going to be free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. No tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont. And we're the only dealer with 90-day returns, no restocking fee. Nobody else does that. Some larger items are going to be non-returnable. It's going to be really important that you are looking at the fixture on that page and kind of scroll down under the description. It'll tell you if that is the case. And that's usually for really big, giant, huge fixtures, mostly that go out on pallets. Okay, that's it. Rush program. Let's talk about that. So rush program, Hubbardton Forge generally takes about 3 to 4 weeks to go out the door. That's production time before your transit time. You always have to add that on too. We offer a rush program that takes you from that 3 to 4 weeks down to a little under 2 weeks it's a very small addition per line item. So if you have like 1, 2, 3 items, like let's say 3 or 4 outdoor sconces, and they're all the same size and they're all the same finish, that's one line item. So it's very inexpensive to rush those kind of things. Don't be afraid to email us and ask about that. Okay, so that's really it. If you guys have any other questions, let us know. We would love to see you in our showroom sometime. And thanks for stopping in.